Okay, time for another video here. The body is all stripped down, the windows removed, everything's removed actually, except the center piece there. That's a rubber bumper. It's like a boat rub rail stuff, and I'm trying to source out some new product for that because it's easy to take this green paint off of the aluminum trim, but as far as finding new, cleaning this up and stuff, and also there's damage here, as you can see, to the rub rail where somebody jackknifed the trailer, which isn't good. So, I'm trying to erase all this damage here. The other side here got jackknifed as well, and they did a wonderful fiberglass patch there, eh? So I'll have to grind all that off and redo that as well. As far as the fridge vent and the fridge access panel goes, well, they're riveted on. I don't really want to take those off. I'll try to work around them. So yeah, it's all a matter of sanding and whatnot. Now you're going to notice that inside I have supports on both sides actually, and what I've done is I've tried to raise the roof up to the proper level. Now this trailer and all the fiberglass trailers that I have worked on, the other two, had the same or similar issues. This one here must have had a bigger snow load on it because it really did push the roof down. And I'm going to show you something here up on the roof that is part of the issue, and it's something that it's almost impossible to fix this now. So what I have here is a little bump, and this is where the closet, the front wall to the closet, was sitting here. It should have been sitting over closer to this upright part here because it would have been stronger, but no, it was sitting out here, and it has actually cracked the fiberglass, and all of the fiberglass has been pushed down around it. So this is something I'm going to have to just grind this off and do the best I can to repair it. And of course, when I build a new closet, I will support it under this. Now everybody thinks, well, yeah, these roofs should be really strong. Look, they got that hump in the middle and everything. Well, no, they're not. They're very thin, and any kind of a snow load, and it has happened here. The vent is probably down lower than the rest of the roof, just because it's going to sag like this with a snow load on it. So when I reinstall the vent, I'm going to have to put a wooden frame around on the inside to try to give it some support. I did that on the Scamp. I actually put the wood frame on the upside here on the roof, and then fiberglassed it in, and that lifted the vent up higher so that I could actually use screws, stainless steel screws, to attach the vent. But I'm not going to do that with this trailer. It's already high enough. It won't fit out the door if I did that. The Scamp was just a tad lower, so it couldn't do that. So what's happened with this roof here, with the snow load and the kitchen cabinets being removed, and this is really important. Anybody who's working on one of these trailers, put cabinets back in that go right up to the roof. Lift the roof up, support the roof, because this roof sagged down, and you can see all along here where all the water's been sitting. So not good. I mean, it'll run off the front, it'll run off the back a little bit, but really you want to support this roof. What happens if you leave the trailer out and you forget to shovel the snow off of it? Then you definitely could have a serious problem. So, and then none of that affects the insulate in here. But you can see the slight sag right there. You can see it. And you can see here where the closet, the imprint of the closet is right there, and you can see that it's pushed up on that part there. So my closet's going to support all the way back here. I'll make sure that I follow this contour right up to the front here, and the closet will support that. It's the same thing over here on the fridge side. The fridge cabinet, and you can actually see, because this is still dirty, I haven't cleaned it, where the fridge cabinet used to be. And when I got this trailer, this was all missing. In fact, they had plastic down here and they had it all foamed in, to block off the whole, for heating, I guess. Anyways, instead of having a fridge, they just had a plywood countertop here. Anyways, so two sides of the fridge are going up here, 1 and 2, and they will support this part of the roof. Then the overhead cabinet has to carry on here and push up on this part of the roof. So the overhead cabinet's going to support the roof. And I know what you're saying, there's a window here. How are you going to do it? Well, you do it just the same way they did it in the bowlers. And they had bars going up from the kitchen counter up to support that cabinet. If you fill that cabinet up full of dishes and food or whatever, there's a lot of weight pulling down on the roof. You need to hold everything up from the floor. So that's the way I'm going to do it. And so that was just something I had to point out. Also, I'm going to be putting the overhead cabinets on either end of the trailer. When the window frame wood goes around, the trim goes around the wood, it's an excellent place to anchor a shelf from. The shelf can go from window to window on both sides, and then also anchor on the wood frame that'll be above the window, and then hold up the roof. Why not, eh? Now, at the front here, it's a little trickier because there's no windows on the sides. You need to start your shelf there. I'm going to need to have to anchor this shelf. We'll probably go around and anchor off of the fridge. But this one here, I'll have to come around and anchor off of this door frame. By the way, I am impressed. Bowler uses a little piece of steel square tubing on the hinge side of the door. And look what Triple E's done. They've molded and then fiberglassed it together, a whole door frame on there. Wow. That makes the door frame completely rigid. One of you guys has found out that there's wood inside here to attach the hinges to. Yeah, there is. Maybe even on this side too, who knows? But to get that wood out of there, a fellow from Calgary did figure that out. But I think what I'm going to do is, for one thing, I'll be mounting my hinges in a different place here. But I'm going to inject resin, thin down resin into these screw holes. Hopefully it saturates the wood really well. I've poked around in there and stuff, and I can't, you treat this like the transom of a boat, right? Is the transom rotted or not? Then you got no place to clamp your motor to. But I think for the hinges for the door, this is going to be fine if I move them, and if I get some watered down resin and I pour it in there, I'm going to improve things greatly. So yeah, this is I'm at the stage now where everything will be ground down and sanded down. This green paint, of course, I'm going to be priming over top of it, but first of all, it'll be sanded smooth. It was done with a roller. It's like, I don't know what kind of paint it is, but it's on there. In most places on this trailer, it is on there really well. So I'm not worried about it peeling off in big sheets or, with I prime over top of it. And by the way, here's all my paint product here. This is what I use. It's the same thing we used for a boat. Interlux Pre-Coat Primer. You can get this in white and gray. I'm obviously using white because I'm painting the trailer this off-white color, the whole thing. Everybody says, oh, you should do the harvest gold on the bottom, just like it was, right? You know, it used to be harvest gold, you can see. But no, I don't want to. I don't want it to be offensive to anybody who's, you know, picky about their colors. So we basically going to do a complete off-white trailer, top and bottom. I think one of the things I might add is maybe a pinstripe or two. There'll be some graphics on the trailer. Yeah, and that's the plan so far. Hopefully, you know, I don't change my mind, but yeah, that's the way it goes. Okay.